Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. Today we're reporting week 8 from my bulk using Turkesterone, and well, this is mostly just a bulk log at this point because I've pretty much made up my mind about the Turkesterone, but I'm still taking it, so I will make these videos for the whole bulk out. But yeah, I can't really tell that. Well, I won't say that it's not working, but the bulk is going great. But I can't really tell that I've made any additional gains to those I would have made just eating in a surplus and following this training program that I made. So, but again, like creatine, that there's a lot of evidence for it actually being performance enhancing. It's not like I've ever taken that and been like, oh yeah, I feel so much from it, So that's just where things are right now. I can't really tell if it's doing anything, but I won't just say that, no, it doesn't work. But since I'm not noticing any huge effect or anything, I happen to have the other second most popular ecdysteroid that's called ecdysterone. So at first I thought about splitting them up and so, but I don't think it will be too interesting. I'm guessing I would have a very similar experience. So just to try to get the most bang for my buck, like literally, because these are expensive things, but also just on this bulk. If it's doing anything, I want to milk out as much as possible. So I've added ecdysterone into the mix. So I take 2 pills of each in the morning and 2 pills of each in the evening. So 4 pills of each per day. So the bulk is going great. I switched deadlift row after hitting 5x5 at 140 kilos. I decided that I could probably have upped the weight some, but I'll be safe because I have a little, like my lower back tends to get overworked anyway, and I have my hamstring injury. So I'm happy to have hit that number, and I put an end to that exercise before it gets, well, I'm not saying it's a dangerous exercise if you're safe, but I just decided better be safe than sorry here. So I switched it to a T-bar row, a good machine. It will be, of course, more isolated to the upper back here. There will be some lower back still because it's not the chest supported one, but not too much to say about that because it was the first time I did it on this program. Yeah, well, I progressed my, oh, the screen went out, close grip pull down. I'm up to 90 kilos, and I did the 888 last time, like 3 sets of 8, but I hit 9 on the first set now, and then did 88. Yeah, not much more to say about that workout. So yes, the front squat, I pretty much hit the wall at 5x5 at 125 kilos. Like the Monday, because I do this workout on Mondays, before I hit 3 sets of 5 at 125, and then I knew I wouldn't make the other set, so I went down. They'd passed ass to grass reps at 110 kilos. So I decided that's what I'm gonna do now. I could have changed around the program because it has to do with me having trained upper back the day before, which does a lot just to keep the position here on the front squat. But I instead of it's too messy and I have to rethink things too much, so I just decided I lower the weight to ass to grass past reps. So I did 5x5 at 110 kilos. I was happy with that. For reference, I started this bulk doing 5x5, not just regular reps, at 115 kilos, and had to go down to 110 for set 4 and 5. So clearly some progress has been made there. Oh yeah, the leg workouts have been the least structured apart from like the big, like the front squat, because of my hamstring and hip. That's just not in the best shape now. But I think I've figured out 2 leg workouts that I'll just be able to follow for this last month of the bulk. But I did an interesting exercise. I did a reverse Nordic. Some people call it just the body weight leg extension. So I love that exercise for the stretch when you're way back, but I've never liked, what I don't like, it's good, you can't get everything always out of one exercise, but I've always wished that you could get a peak contraction in it. But you, of course, there's a 90-degree bend in your knee when you're done. Otherwise you're just falling forward. But so what I came up with, because I like the squeeze from the leg extension, but you don't really get as good of a stretch in that, so I made it a superset. I'm not really into supersets most of the time. Superset, if you don't know, is just doing 2 exercises right after each other. But when I combine them for this specific purpose, to like get the stretch or the first one and the peak contraction for the Second one, I liked it, so I did that. Or I did 6 reps on the first and then 8 on the other. Yeah, not too much more to say about that workout. Yeah, on the incline bench, when I hit the wall after doing 5x5 at 90 kilos, I went down to 80 and started doing bottom passes. So I did 82.5, 5x5 bottom pass, no problem. Yeah, moved up the dumbbells, 37.5, like doing full range of motion. I'm going all the way down for big stretch. And moved up there. And yeah, behind the neck press. So last week I did 50 kilos for 3 sets of 8. And so now I took 50 kilos and did 8 8s, but hit 10 on the last one. So that was nice. On the skull crushers, I don't think I have a video of this, but I'm up to 47.5 kilos here and did 12, 11, 10 reps. So I can pretty much do it with 50 kilos at this point. That's kind of cool. Yeah, and then we have the other back workout. So again, I could kind of progressively overload my weighted chin up by just gaining body weight. So I kept the 20 kilo weight, just did 5x5, and me getting heavier was the overload. But finally I got too heavy for that. So what I did was I regressed down last week, having 10 kilos and doing like dead hang, so a complete stop at the bottom, and also no raising of the legs, which helps out a lot, which I wouldn't mind doing for like if I went for one rep max or something. But I don't really mind it. I did it before, but just a way to make it stricter and progress again, So this week I went up to 12.5 kilos in the belt, and I probably was a little heavier too, so that was good. I've built a seal row. So I said the leg workouts have been the least structured. Like I've had to change around like one exercise in the back workout because I had to switch gyms during the bulk. But I built a decent seal row setup. It wouldn't work so good if I wanted to do the close grip version where you kind of pull the elbows in, but since I want to do the wide grip version, that was fine. Well, I did that last week too, at 60 kilos, 3 sets of 10, went up to 62.5, some other progress there. Oh, I added in shrugs with a trap bar now, because, I have decently developed traps without ever really tried. I've really never, now I'm training traps, but I've done heavy deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts, which will build the traps surprisingly much. Just for the big stretch, really, it gets. But so, since I can't do Romanian or regular deadlifts right now, I decided to add in shrugs. And it was interesting. I haven't done it in a while. It's kind of nice with a stretch, since I've worked on my mobility in the summer, it's just more room here. It just feels better to do that exercise. But yeah, it was hard to know where to start. But I started at 100 kilos, 3 sets of 10, did a double drop set on the last one. Yeah, and so I've added, again, back squats for the that I couldn't do really at the start of this bulk. I can do now. And I've started at 140 kilos, 5x5. I finished, I did 145 kilos for 5x5. It's a little annoying because I feel very strong, my lower body, but I have this hamstring injury that now I can do the squat, but it's like I have to be careful with how I move, So I feel like I take the opposite of a shortcut, whatever that is, a detour when I go up. And also, like, I have to slow down, like, right at the top when I go up, because if I go explosive at the top, that's where I kind of pinch whatever is off there, So it's a weird thing. But looking at the video, it looked surprisingly good. It's good to film, by the way. Film yourself in the gym sometimes, because, you'll see if something is off, but also the opposite, me thinking that this is really off, but it was actually all right, Did a terrible Smith hack squat. Like, it's terrible as in very tough, but I think it's a great exercise, great quad isolation, or it's not completely isolated. Will be some glutes, of course, but a lot of quads in there. I just progressed it up to 85 kilos on the bar. I do one exercise I might show here. I do a hyperextension. I had to raise the hyperextension thing, and I try to do it, it's always with these kind of hip hinging movements. You can't eliminate the muscle completely, but you can put emphasis on different muscles. So I do this. I would have done the reverse hyper if that machine was a very unusual machine, but I just have a feeling that would be great for my hamstring. But so I do the regular one. But so I had to raise it up to be able to hold the weight in front of me doing it. No, but so the difference, I will of course use my lower back here still, but the difference is instead of thinking about extending the back, I'm trying to push my hips into the pads there. So on the first 2 sets, I will feel it mostly in my glutes and hamstrings, and on the third set, I will feel some in my lower back too. But yeah, it's working out. And so then finally today's workout, I've added in the Larsen press as my 5x5 exercise. So it's a bench press completely without leg drive. Did 92.5 kilos for 5x5 easy. Could probably have gone higher, but I'm gonna give it some room to grow. And my pressing strength, that's historically been my worst, feels really good right now. So it's going to be interesting. I've historically not been super interested in going for 1 rep max on the bench press, but I'm getting a little bit more interested in strength, probably going to train more specifically for strength. If you don't understand this, if you're not as into lifting as me is, of course I train for strength right now, but it's more that I'm using strength as a means to build muscle. It's not the main goal to increase the number, it's a tool. And so when you do strength training, it's kind of the other way around, like building a muscle is a side effect of trying to get strong in lift. So you would program a bit differently. But anyway, I'm feeling I'm getting a little bit more interested in that now, and I feel my pressing strength is great. So at the end of this bulk, I'll see if I can top my former personal best, which is 120 kilos, which is not a lot. That's like 265, 275 pounds for Americans. Yeah, my worst lift by far. So yeah, I did overhead press that. I did 55 kilos, 3 sets of 6 last week, and yeah, I accidentally went and did incline dumbbells 1 set before I realized, oh shit, the overhead press is the next one, and I was supposed to add weight, you know, to 57.5. So I was a little, because especially on the incline, you will use a lot of front delts. I was like, shit, did I screw myself there now? But I managed to hit the 3x6 there. Overhead pressing, okay, that might be worse than my bench press, but that's because I've done it far less, you know, and it's more difficult, I can tell, for me to know like how many reps I have left in the tank and stuff. Yeah, but it's not much more. Those are the main things from that. I mean, I went up to 32.5 kilo dumbbells for the long range of motion incline dumbbell press too. Yeah, I did my tuck dips. I didn't film that. So, well, that's it. That's it for this week. So we have another month left. Let's talk about my weight a bit. I've actually hit 90.0 kilos a few mornings now. And it's never below 88. So that's a new high for me. I've never seen a 9 on the scale like at the start of the weight before in my life. So that's kind of funny. But so I won't be pushing. I've talked about starting to eat a 4th meal, but very rarely. Mostly 3 meals per day. My appetite, it was high at the start of this bulk, then it was a little lower for a while, and then it has been good again. I just managed to eat more. But now I won't be pushing calories as much as long as just numbers is going up in the gym, because now I can kind of bulk a bit of I'm closing in on 20% body fat probably. So yeah, it's not, you know, bulking and all this calorie surplus, it's not so much on the day, like that's why you wouldn't just eat the surplus on the days you train or something. It's a long-term thing, and I've still put my body in like a situation of abundance, adding weight, so it's not important to push the calories anymore. But yeah, guys, that's it. Please leave a comment. Please like. All comments and likes help support the channel. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, uncommon sense takes on a wide variety of subjects. And yeah, have a good weekend, guys, and I'll see you later. Peace.